Hello. All right. So I am going to be responding to Kim's comments about my fieldwork. So I think first the best thing to do would be to just talk a little bit about Interlochen Arts Academy, where I work. So we are a high school boarding school that is dedicated towards the arts, and we also have a summer arts camp program. They're two separate programs. And I work in both, but this project is going to be for our academy students. And these are students who come to study with us starting in September through till the end of May. And they come from all over the world. We have a student from South Korea, and we have a student from Latvia, and one from Denmark. And the rest of the students are American. We have 42 altogether and 12 boys. So they audition to get into the program, and they actually go through our dance audition, but then there's a pretty rigorous academic component to it as well. So these are typically pretty high level academic students who also are very interested in serious ballet training. We are a ballet program, ballet based program that so we have a classical ballet class every day, and they also have supplementary modern classes, Pilates, yoga, and point work, pas de deux, that supplements all of their training. And then we also have a rehearsal period because we have a fully produced production at the end of every season. So we have a winter production, we have a fall production, winter production, spring productions, and we are preparing for our winter production, which is Nutcracker. And we get to do the full ballet with orchestra because we have the music students here. So it's a pretty wonderful experience. So these are very serious students. They all have come with a significant amount of training before they arrive to us. Typically they come as sophomores or juniors, but this year actually we have quite a few freshmen, so I'm excited about that. I'll get an opportunity to work with some students for 4 years consecutively. Will be pretty wonderful. So those are the kids that I'm going to be working with to set up this injury prevention program. Now, some of the questions that Kim also asked, for me, maybe what was my motivation for this, and I did actually have a significant problem with shin splints when I was a dancer, which is just like a general term for low leg issues. Certainly stem from tight calves and from lifting my heels and working. So kind of it's one of those over-rotating from the feet. So it's kind of one of those injuries that is more of a a combination of your physical being and also bad technique and forcing rotation. So that is something that I teach, that I prioritize in my teaching, is teaching proper rotation and teaching how you attain that, and definitely talk about the adverse troubles that can come from that. The type of injuries that I'm thinking that are going to be targeted with this really are those chronic overuse injuries. Those are the ones that typically have our dancers sidelined the most. So that is things like low back pain, hip issues. We have a lot of Achilles tendon issues, ankle problems because of a lot of point work, especially this time of year. We're preparing for the Nutcracker, so heavy point work, in rehearsals. So I'm thinking that those are the things I want to kind of target. So this is a project that's going to be ongoing, and something, I'll be implementing next year at the beginning of the year. So it's something kind of late in the game right now, since I'm, really coming up with it on the fly for, so it will be something that we will use earlier for the future. But for this year, I'm going on Thursday to University of Michigan to learn the Harkness injury prevention protocol from a physical therapist there who uses it on their dancers. So she's actually going to be administering the test, and I'm going to go and observe with our personal trainer that we have here at Interlochen. He's going to come as well, so that his knowledge with my knowledge, and we can kind of bring back this test. I have 6 dancers who have volunteered to be my my kind of test group that I will assess and give the conditioning exercises to, or the restorative or the preventative, depending on what this test reveals. And then I will watch them through to Nutcracker, which is at the beginning of December. So my timeline is that I'm going to be, I sent the students some questions I wanted them to ask for me, so started that process as far as documenting my field work. Their kind of expectations and injury issues they've had, or what do they predict will be something that will be a problem when they go through this process. So I have collected those, which I'm going to post on my blog for kind of the beginning of my field work. I will be taking copious notes at this with this therapist, and if she'll allow me, I'd like to video her process as well. So I do imagine that we're going to probably come up with something that's going to look at body type. It's going to look at flexible joints. It's going to look at things like Achilles tendon length. So a test that we see if that's short or long. So some of the things that Kim talked about as far as my questions, she was talking about the work ethic portion of this, and asking them to really take charge. We are preparing them, possibly for a job in a professional company when they leave Interlochen, or even to go into, many of our students go into college programs. So college programs, training programs, not very often straight into a professional company because they're young. But this is, I'm hoping, going to be a skill that they learn and that they can take with them into their profession. Or maybe it'll spark an interest. In the past, I've had students who have gone into physical therapy or have gone into sports medicine or something. It just kind of sparks an interest in them with going through this kind of work. Another kind of interesting thing that Kim brought up was the mental and emotional side of this. So, our dancers who come to us are very serious about dance. So they are all very mentally prepared to put in the amount of hours that we ask of them, and which is we have classes from 1 to 6 daily. So they're training from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m., either in ballet class, moving from a ballet class into their second session class, which is like their supplemental, and then moving into our rehearsals. And so they are, very serious about all of that. And we do have mental health counselors that are on staff here that work with the students at all times. And we have started an advisory group as well. So we check in with the kids weekly and check out how they're feeling, what's happening. This job for me actually is not just a teacher of dance, but I really do a lot of parenting, and I am a parent, so it's something that I love. Since they are away from home, we need to, we do a lot of holistic work with them. Somatic practice, I personally have experience of Feldenkrais, and I'm going to look into that more. I do know there's a practitioner actually in Traverse City, which is close to where I live in Interlochen, so I may, advise her with that. But I do a lot of the mind-body work with Pilates and with yoga and with gyrotonics with the kids. So we do a lot of that, and then the final question from Kim was, what am I doing for myself? So I do model this. I take yoga daily, and I try to, the kids see me taking care of myself as much as I can. It's all balance, but so yes, thank you so much, Kim, for all these great ideas and your thoughts. So much appreciated, and I am looking forward to moving forward on this project. Thank you.